Walk into a TV store in 2026, and everything looks amazing. Every screen is brighter. Every logo sounds expensive. Every box says AI, quantum, cinema, premium. But most of it is theater. Because the modern TV industry figured something out a long time ago. Most people don't buy televisions with logic. They buy them with fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of buying the wrong one. Fear of getting left behind technologically. And companies know it. That's why two TVs sitting next to each other can look almost identical, while one costs twice as much. Because what you're really paying for now is confidence, not hardware. And this year, that manipulation got worse, way worse. Brands started cutting corners nobody notices in stores. Processors, backlighting, motion handling, upscaling, longevity. Things you only discover months later, when the excitement wears off, when the dark scenes look gray, when sports start smearing, when the interface suddenly feels slow. And by then, it's too late. So in this video, we're ranking 10 of the most popular TVs people are buying in 2026, from the worst value traps to the only two that actually justify the hype. Not based on marketing, not based on flashy showroom demos, but based on what these TVs actually feel like to live with, day after day, night after night. Because the truth is, some of the best-selling TVs right now are also the biggest disappointments. And most people never realize why. This is exactly the kind of thing this channel exists to expose. TV marketing in 2026 is built around one simple strategy: overwhelm the buyer. Throw enough buzzwords at people, and eventually they stop asking questions. QLED, Mini LED, XR processing, AI motion enhancement, dynamic tone mapping plus ultra. Most buyers don't actually know what any of it means. And honestly, that's the point. Because once people feel confused, they stop evaluating products rationally. They start searching for emotional shortcuts. Bigger brand, brighter sticker, louder marketing, higher price. And companies exploit that instinct relentlessly, especially with TVs, because TVs are emotional purchases. People imagine movie nights, sports Sundays, gaming setups, family rooms. And brands know the fastest way to sell emotion is to create insecurity. That's why showroom TVs are always set to nuclear brightness. That's why vivid modes are enabled by default. That's why cheap TVs are placed under terrible lighting, while premium TVs get dark cinematic displays. You're not comparing products, you're comparing environments. And the scary part? It works. Constantly. Some TVs in this ranking became bestsellers almost entirely because of brand trust. Not performance, not value, just familiarity. And once you understand that, the entire TV market starts looking very different. Most TV buyers make three massive mistakes, and almost every bad purchase starts here. Mistake number one, buying the logo instead of the hardware. This is probably the biggest trap in modern consumer tech. People assume a trusted brand automatically means a good TV. It doesn't, not anymore. Brands like Samsung, Sony, and LG make incredible high-end televisions, but they also make aggressively mediocre budget models, designed almost entirely to capture shelf space. And because the logo feels premium, buyers assume the experience will be premium too. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. Mistake number two, judging TVs in a brightly lit store. This one destroys people, because terrible TVs can actually look decent under retail lighting, especially when they're blasting hyper-saturated demo footage. But once you get home and watch an actual movie, everything changes. Black levels collapse, blooming becomes obvious, motion looks messy, skin tones feel strange, and suddenly the great deal feels cheap. Because TVs are judged in darkness, not under fluorescent ceilings. Mistake number 3. Overpaying for features they'll never use. This is where the industry makes insane margins. 8K, 240 Hz claims, AI picture enhancements, gaming buzzwords. Most buyers don't need any of it. What actually matters is consistency, contrast, processing, motion, reliability. The stuff that doesn't sound exciting in ads, but completely changes daily use. And once you realize that, the rankings start getting uncomfortable, because some of the biggest names in the industry fall apart surprisingly fast. So let's start at the bottom.
The Samsung DU7200 exists for one reason: brand leverage. That's it. This TV sells because people trust the Samsung name, and Samsung knows they trust it. So the DU7200 gets positioned like a safe choice: reliable, recognizable, familiar. But once you actually live with it, the illusion fades fast. The contrast feels weak, shadow detail disappears, motion handling struggles constantly, and the moment you watch anything cinematic, the panel starts feeling oddly lifeless, especially at night. This is the kind of TV that looks acceptable in a store, then quietly disappoints you for 5 years. Not offensively bad, just permanently mediocre, which is almost worse, because there's nothing memorable here. No standout value, no killer feature, no real reason it should cost what it does besides the logo on the bezel. And that's the uncomfortable truth about many entry-level premium brand TVs in 2026. You're buying reputation, not experience. The Amazon Fire TV 4 series isn't really a television. It's an advertisement delivery system disguised as a television. And once you notice that, you can't unsee it. Everything about this TV feels built around Amazon's ecosystem first and your viewing experience second. The interface pushes content constantly, recommendations, sponsored rows, auto-playing banners. The TV never really feels like yours. It feels rented. And hardware-wise, it's aggressively average. Brightness is limited, contrast is weak, motion feels soft, gaming performance is forgettable. But the bigger problem is psychological. This TV conditions buyers to accept lower standards because it's cheap, and that's how the industry slowly resets expectations downward. People stop asking whether something is good. They start asking whether it's good for the price. That distinction matters more than most people realize, because eventually, good for the price becomes the excuse for everything. And this channel will keep exposing that trend because the market is getting flooded with it. The Roku Select series is fascinating because unlike many TVs on this list, it's honest. It doesn't pretend to be premium, it doesn't scream cinematic excellence, it doesn't drown buyers in fake innovation language. And weirdly, that makes it more respectable. But honesty alone doesn't make a TV good. The picture quality here is still limited, HDR lacks impact, brightness feels restrained, blacks drift toward gray, and the overall image never fully escapes budget TV energy. But at least Roku understands something many brands forgot. People want simplicity. The interface is clean. This is where the ranking starts getting uncomfortable, because the LG UT70 and UR8000 are sold with the emotional gravity of premium products, but underneath, they feel strangely hollow. These TVs rely heavily on LG's reputation from its OLED lineup, and that reputation is powerful. People hear LG and subconsciously think high-end picture quality, deep blacks, cinema performance. But these aren't those TVs, not even close. The contrast inconsistency becomes obvious fast, especially in darker rooms. Movies lose depth, black bars glow slightly, and dramatic scenes lose their atmosphere, which creates a weird disconnect because the TVs look modern, the menus look polished, the branding feels premium, but the actual viewing experience feels emotionally flat. And that disconnect is becoming increasingly common in 2026. Companies borrow prestige from their flagship products to sell weaker ones underneath. It's luxury branding psychology applied to electronics. Responsive, predictable, and after years of bloated smart TV software, that actually matters now. Still, this is ultimately a convenience TV, not a cinema TV, not a performance TV, not a TV you buy because you love movies. It's the TV equivalent of functional furniture. And there's a market for that, just not at the top of this ranking.
This might be the most controversial placement in the entire ranking, because people trust Sony deeply, and honestly, for good reason. Sony still makes some of the best TVs on Earth. But the X77L isn't one of them. This TV survives almost entirely on brand emotion. People assume Sony processing automatically guarantees premium performance. And to be fair, motion handling here is decent. Upscaling is respectable. The software experience feels refined. But then reality kicks in. The panel limitations become impossible to ignore. HDR impact feels muted. Brightness lacks authority, and the overall image never reaches the cinematic depth buyers expect from Sony. That expectation gap matters a lot, because disappointment is relative. And when a TV carries the Sony name, people unconsciously expect magic. Instead, they get compromise, which makes this TV feel more frustrating than some cheaper competitors. Because at this price point, you're paying partially for nostalgia, for the memory of Sony dominance. And brands know nostalgia sells incredibly well. The Vizio V-Series is messy. Not terrible, just inconsistent. Sometimes it surprises you. Sometimes it completely falls apart. And that unpredictability defines the entire experience. On paper, the value looks compelling. Decent sizing, competitive pricing, solid enough contrast in certain conditions. But living with the TV feels unstable. Menus lag randomly. Software bugs appear unexpectedly. Performance fluctuates. And over time, the experience starts feeling unreliable, like the TV is constantly one update away from becoming annoying. That's the hidden cost most reviews barely talk about: consistency fatigue. A TV can have decent specs and still slowly exhaust you, because reliability is emotional. People don't want to troubleshoot televisions, they want televisions to disappear. The best TVs feel invisible. The V-Series never quite does. Still, at least Vizio occasionally tries to compete on raw value instead of pure branding psychology. And in this market, that already puts it ahead of several bigger companies. Now things start getting interesting, because the Hisense QD7 represents a major shift happening across the industry. The old hierarchy is collapsing. For years, buyers assumed Chinese TV brands automatically meant lower quality. That assumption is dying fast, and TVs like the QD7 are the reason why. This thing actually tries. You can feel it immediately. The brightness jumps noticeably. HDR finally starts looking alive. Gaming performance feels responsive. Contrast has real presence. And suddenly, the experience becomes immersive instead of merely functional. Does it still have weaknesses? Absolutely. Processing can be inconsistent, motion refinement still trails premium competitors, build quality occasionally feels cost-conscious, but unlike many TVs earlier in this ranking, the QD7 actually gives viewers something emotionally satisfying: impact. And that matters, because most people don't obsess over calibration charts, they obsess over how a TV feels. And for the first time in this list, we finally have a TV that feels exciting.
The TCL Q6 is one of the smartest products in the entire market right now. Not because it's perfect, because it understands modern buyers better than most premium brands do. TCL recognized something early. People care more about perceived experience than legacy reputation. So instead of selling nostalgia, they sell visible performance. And honestly, it works. The Q6 delivers strong brightness for the price, solid color volume, respectable gaming features, and an image that immediately feels more premium than many bigger-name competitors, especially in mixed lighting environments.
This is the kind of TV that exposes how inflated certain legacy brands became. Because once consumers see performance this competitive at lower prices, the psychological grip of premium logos starts weakening. That's dangerous for the old guard, and you can already feel the market shifting because of it. Now, the Q6 still isn't flawless. Motion processing can stumble, black uniformity varies, and serious movie enthusiasts will still notice compromises. But this TV understands value better than most of the industry, which is exactly why TCL keeps gaining ground. Finally, we reach the first TV in this ranking that genuinely feels premium. Not marketed as premium, actually premium. The Sony Bravia 7 is where processing starts becoming art, and once you see it, it's hard to go backwards. Everything feels controlled. Motion looks cinematic instead of artificial. Skin tones feel believable. Shadow detail carries depth. The image has restraint, confidence, maturity. And that's something cheap TVs never fully replicate, because premium televisions aren't just brighter, they're calmer, more intentional. Sony understands this better than almost anyone. The Bravia 7 doesn't scream for your attention, it earns it slowly, which ironically makes it more impressive. Now yes, it's expensive, and yes, Sony pricing still carries a prestige tax, but unlike cheaper Sony models, this one finally justifies it, mostly, because you can actually see where the money went, into processing, into consistency, into refinement. This is a TV built for people who genuinely watch films, not just demo reels, and there's a huge difference between those two audiences. The TCL QM8K is the most important TV in this entire ranking, not because it's perfect, because it changes the conversation. This TV represents something the industry tried to avoid for years: real performance pressure on legacy brands, on inflated pricing, on reputation-based selling. Because the QM8K delivers an absurd amount of hardware for the money, and once people experience it in person, the old pricing structure starts looking ridiculous. The brightness is stunning, black levels finally feel convincing, HDR has genuine impact, gaming performance is aggressive, and for the first time on this list, the TV feels like it's competing above its class instead of below it. That's rare, especially in 2026. Now, is the processing still slightly less refined than Sony? Yes, hardcore purists will notice, but most buyers, they'll notice the immersion first. And that's why this TV matters so much, because it exposes a reality the industry doesn't love talking about. A lot of premium pricing was never about hardware superiority. It was about brand confidence. The QM8K disrupts that illusion, and consumers are starting to realize it fast. This is one of the few TVs right now that genuinely feels like you're getting more than you paid for, which used to be normal in tech, but now feels almost shocking.
Here's the strange thing about the TV market in 2026. The worst TVs aren't always terrible, and the best TVs aren't perfect. The real difference is honesty. Some TVs are priced around performance, others are priced around perception. And once you learn how to spot the difference, marketing starts losing its power over you. That's the real goal. Not chasing endless upgrades, not obsessing over specs, just understanding what actually improves the experience and what merely sounds expensive. Because companies will keep pushing buzzwords forever. They'll keep inventing new labels, new acronyms, new must-have technologies. But most people, they just want a TV that still feels good after the excitement fades. And surprisingly, few actually do. So now we want to hear from you. What TV are you using right now? And do you genuinely think it was worth the money, especially after living with it for a while? Drop it in the comments. Some of the best insights usually come from long-term owners, not launch day reviews. And if you want more breakdowns like this, more industry psychology, more honest rankings beyond the marketing layer, you already know this channel is going to keep digging into it.
because the manipulation is only getting smarter from here.